remember the other day, more like 2 or 3 weeks ago, I did a video. Matter of fact, that's probably closer to a month ago now. Did a video on the WebBot report. You know, my little summary and whatnot, and I talked about, because I read it in the WebBot report, how it said that the Russian troops, or Russia, would send in its boys definitely into Ukraine. It's going to be seen as some kind of invasion from the rest of us. Yet, don't buy that word and buy into that. Whatever Russia's doing is going to be the right thing, and you will see later on that it was the good move that Russia did. That's what the WebBot said would happen. Immediacy data report. So, short-term futures, what this WebBot at the time was talking about. Friday, August 29, 2014. U.S. official says 1,000 Russian troops have entered Ukraine. A top Ukrainian army officer said a full-scale invasion of his country was underway Thursday, as a U.S. official said up to 1,000 Russian troops had crossed Ukraine's southern border to fight alongside pro-Russian rebels. U.S. officials said Russian troops were directly involved in the latest fighting despite Moscow's denials. Rebels backed by Russian tanks and armored personnel carriers fought Ukrainian forces on 2 fronts Thursday, southeast of rebel-held Donetsk and along the nation's southern coast in the town of Novovosk, something, right? About 12 miles from the Russian border, said Mikhailo Lysenko, the deputy commander of the Ukrainian Donbas battalion. Quote, "This is a full-scale invasion," he said, referring to the fighting in the south. Intelligence now indicates that up to 1,000 Russian troops have moved into southern Ukraine with heavy weapons and are fighting there, a U.S. official told CNN Thursday. NATO provided what it said is evidence. Satellite images showing Russian troops engaged in military operations inside Ukraine. The images captured in late August depict Russian self-propelled artillery units moving in a convoy through the Ukrainian countryside and then preparing for action by establishing firing positions in the area of Krasnodar, Ukraine, NATO said in a news release. So the latest immediacy data report regarding, you know, the WebBot report anyways, I should say, but it's the immediacy data report. I started listening to it last night on my laptop, and it was already very low on batteries, and I've left my charger at work anyways, so I didn't finish it. But I got almost halfway through. It was a little over an hour long this time, and talks about a few interesting things thus far: gold, silver, cyber attacks, banks, related to banks, and seems like it's gonna be a pretty interesting one. Nonetheless, not to mention this, again, we now have a WebBot hit right on the money, actually, this time. Time-wise, everything-wise, Russia is definitely sending some people in, from what I can gather this yesterday and today. As it said, the WebBot said, there's a reason they're doing this. Don't buy that they're just invading the Ukraine. And it even talked about how they're going to label this as an invasion and this and that. Incredible. And it said it's not an invasion, technically speaking, as you'll sooner or later find out. They're doing the right thing, so don't buy into the garbage. And I can't put my visor down at the moment, or else you're not going to see my face, because the sun is right in it right now. So instead, I'll just cover my hand over my eye so I can see, and you get to see my hand, backside of my hand in your face. So, anyways, it appears that the WebBot report was spot on with that particular prediction. You know, even going as far as talking about it being called an invasion, and it's just a bunch of propaganda when they label it that way. But don't worry, it's all with their proper intentions, according to Webbot. And from seeing the things that I see in my own country that my own government has been doing, once again, Sandy Hook hoax, the Boston bombing hoax, which I've now posted that video, which is just a compilation of other people's videos that did a very thorough job in grabbing all available video. We're not talking about hearsay. We're not talking about, well, I heard it from a friend who heard it from a friend who heard it from another, you've been messing around. No. Video evidence that was there that day where any of us can go download the original video. All they did was slow it down, pause it, and show you, look at this. Because when you have all these, you know, when there's 24 people all in the move, they're moving, and this is happening, and it just, you know, the camera's going, it's really hard to actually pinpoint one person and see them do something that looks a little bit odd, as in a purse filled with fake blood with the hose coming out of the side. Well, you're not going to quite see that if the camera's moving too quick. So what do? Slowed it down so that you can see it, pause it, show it to you, etc. And anything any good investigative person would do, looking at some evidence, you can stop, you can pause, you can slow forward, you can rewind, you can show it again. This is not hearsay. This is now video factual evidence. What your mind tells you you're seeing in that video is a whole other story. But how is it that 2 people, 3 people, 4 people can look at the same video, and out of those 4 people, one of them's a complete bozo? Oh, I don't see a hose coming out. I don't see fake blood drenching her right leg as she's standing there as a crisis actor whose job was to drop the blood on the ground when the smoke came out. And then somehow the thing would not stop bleeding, or fake blood coming out of this device in her purse, drenching her right leg completely, who then one of the other actors spots it and says, uh-oh, you've got a problem. You got massive blood leaking from your purse all over the side of your body. Now you're going to have to become a victim, so let's set you up over here. Wait a minute, there's cameras that can see you. Let me pull you behind this other fence so I can work on you. Then another camera comes in, takes a photograph of them, of him once again wrapping a tourniquet around somebody's leg. These are the smartest bombs you ever saw in your life, because they only attack people's legs. No one from the upper body got hurt. No one even their upper legs got hurt. It was the lower legs. These are the only kind of bombs that explode and hit your legs. Everybody. And then they zoom in as she's laying down with her purse on her side. Can't let it go of that purse, you know, it's probably a really expensive purse. And why is he putting a tourniquet really, really, really high up on her right leg? Really high. Because that's where the massive blood soak was from her purse, because that's where her purse was sitting, and that's where the point of contact where it would drain down her leg. So let's cover that up, because this is way too severe for your injury, so we're going to have to cover that up a bit. And in doing so, you see a little hose coming out of her purse, i.e. the device that was responsible. And then you have, again, same video, an FBI agent with his FBI jacket, his identification, his glass, everything about him. And then later on, he's got his FBI gear off. Same guy, I mean, completely clear as day, it's the same guy. Right at the crime scene with a big black backpack on, walking, kind of pacing, sees that someone filming, decides, oh shoot, you can see it in his face, uh-oh, let me turn around. One of the guys working on somebody, because again, there's just a crowd of people covering the people up so you can't see what's going on, actually points at the camera with a very not good look on his face. And then the lady, who I believe is also an FBI agent, looks at, as soon as he says, look, you know, there's a camera, and points right directly at it. She then gets up and turns around with her little fake tourniquet like, what am I supposed to be doing right now? I got this tourniquet on my arm, should I put it on, should I not? Let me back up, let me kind of look around. No, oh shoot. Kind of gives a little weird hand signal kind of thing, like, I don't know what that was about. So if my government can do that to me, to sway my opinion, I don't even have to know anymore what my government or my mainstream media tells me is happening, or what the... I'll go with the damn foreign country's version now before I will even consider my own country's version, because of what I've now seen my country doing. Take care.